Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Whatsoever when I did at the wall. With the country now from the United States, England, and Canada. Just for bringing trending or for discuss trending issues about what's going to go on at Salone. As we all know, there's a lot happening. So much so that we can we're not able to cover most of what is really happening. So we get for pick and choose. So today we talk about again with the trending issues, politics, and how they affect the country, and we'll talk about some of the developments then what would they hear about or what take place recently, among many. Some of the developments, and they will talk about Freetown, the future of Freetown. Then we'll talk about the battling of corruption, and then there's the citizen, then your voice, almost voice the citizen and get for say, and how are we going about taking into account how government, if government even consider people their opinion, or then does they impose how they feel, what in around for do on issues where we think say for concern we all. And again, today on Sunday, September 21st, 2025. So let me start off with going through with normal monologue. And that is for those still on the various way for reach we and for sending you comments. When I all know what they listen to a show for say this show live it come and interactive, meaning when I can call in at number or numbers or places they can't tell you now and participate by sending written comments, or when I can participate by calling in on the telephone, whosoever on the wall for just participate and throw in una own feeling or opinion, because at the end of the day, we all they do what we do, we take up them precious time. You will call in or we will do this show. I would take consider with time and una own time as precious. So would take the time just for talk about issues who think say go be good for the country or not good for the country. So I hope we all go look at the entire in that spirit. Now to politics, politics they affect our all lives. So politics is unavoidable. We can't avoid politics, but not to try for win anybody idea and for just try for inform the public. And we try our best for be as neutral as possible. Now, we only get one main number now where we encourage everybody for reach we. And then at the WhatsApp number. So that WhatsApp number there, now 1-343-997-5828. Again, the WhatsApp number, 1-343-997-5828. So we know WhatsApp, everybody or anybody will get telephone, get access to WhatsApp because it only cost you. You don't get for pay for them, even on a long distance. So we strongly encourage you now. Also, we get a local radio station at Freetown. We're on 91.9 FM. So if you download the Google Play, if you go to the Google Play Store and download the VOS app, or you go to the Apple App Store and download the VOS television mobile app, you could be able to reach that radio station there, 91.9 FM. I can always remind people and say, if you're in the United States or some other countries, then we'll get FM stations. Just don't go and dial or tune 91.9, because if you do that, you will get you will get a 91.9 station, all right, but you're not going to be the one where when you want to reach the Freetown. For reach the Freetown 91.9 FM, you get for go at the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store and download the VOS television mobile app. That's the only way that one day you're going to be able to reach this station. Okay, we also in the carry we on other medium them. For example, we get what you call then they carry away on YouTube, and they carry away on Facebook, then they carry away on X, when formerly they call it Twitter. Okay, so all I want to do, if you go on VOS television, YouTube, Facebook, and X, VOS television, you will be able to reach me. Then VOS, the website for VOS website, now www.vostelevision.com. www.vostelevision.com. If there are the radio too, you can get it on the website. If you go now VOS radio website, like www.vosradio.com, www.vosradio.com, because you might be driving or you might not get a computer or a tablet or iPad for watch a screen. You may want to just listen to them, or on the other hand, you get that, and you want what the radio you want to do without, you can go on the website. Like I said, tune the vosradio.com, you will get we. And I don't mention the Apple Play Store and the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. You get for good and then download the app, the VOS app for Get to We. Then you get what you call Twitch TV. That too go on VOS television. We also get what you call the VOS Diaspora Helping Hands, when a non-profit organization, when an organization set up by VOS for help disadvantaged, picking them. We want to go school, we get a drive for go school, we get a drive for be educated, but financially, the money we for back that drive, they know that the family or at the disposal of that person there. So this VOS Helping Hand non-profit organization now for raise money from time to time, or consistently actually, but for help people and from time to time where they in need, where their family not able for buy the wherewithal or what they need for go school, and hopefully complete the education one day. So that is www.vosdiaspora.org, O-R-G. www.vosdiaspora.org. All right. So if you take note of all the information there, you should be able to reach we, make contribution. I can always say no amount is too small, no amount is too large. Send whatever you're able out of the goodness of your heart, because the people who will get them, not the people in way would not peak ahead of time, not the people who will know, will not geared towards a particular tribe or area of the country where you come out. And for us help everybody, because every citizen of Australian, we want get education. By all means, if we're able, we'll try for help. All right. So last but not least, we also get, then we always can announce where agenda or the program for the day. So we just want, like I said, like I tell you just now, it has to do with just trending topic in Australia and how would they manage for deal with corruption, particularly when we talk about Freetown, the future of Freetown, because there was once, not too long ago, then they talk about, then the hint say they want change Freetown to 2 cities, whatever that means. I think for these people to be able to do that, this is just me own personal opinion, they will have to have experts, extreme experts with triple qualification, how for split one city into 2, and we said not see that happen, and we said not see it happen successfully. And we don't see then they join 2 cities into 1 for make them bigger and more efficient. But I don't know of any reference where 1 city is split into 2 for improved efficiency. So, but we learn every day. So maybe we'd all get expert them and bookman them and the people and way they see the future, then they look into the crystal ball. So they don't see how Salone will be put on the map as the first country. Maybe we take one city, then split them into two, and then run them fantastically better. I think that's a challenge. That's heavy lifting that they will not be able to do. I don't think they don't gain the kind of thought, the in-depth thought where it would take for do that, and it's an almost impossible task. So I like to see, but if the idea of splitting Freetown into two is just for political gain, even politically, I think it's not a smart move because there's not going to be any gain about it in a long or short run. It's just going to be additional mess, So our country will be better served, our capital city will be better served if we go begin for really stop this shenanigan about trying to get political advantage of one dominant political party over another, and then encourage ideas and solicit ideas from people. When the ideas are kind of you hate, go to the expert, then we can make them a reality. I give for you an example. We all talk about iPhone. But when Steve Jobs thought of it, he was not an engineer, but he think of him. He think of that. So what did he do? He contact an engineer friend of his and run the idea by him. So that engineer then try to make it technologically possible. Steve Jobs of himself, the founder of iPhone, not just grab because he sit down one day, maybe he don't eat too much or drink too much. And the idea they kind of hate it. Not just grab saying they go try for create iPhone because you don't get the expertise, you don't get the knowledge, you don't get the intellect. So when we politicians then come, then look at one city with some historical significance in the world and in Africa. This is the city that had renowned university, renowned progresses, developments, first in so many things. So we get people and we think they are smarter now. They say, put all those first aside. We know we can think better. So show it to us that we now know more. We know where they come up with this split in Freetown into two. How smart will I be? How in depth will I not think about this program? What you want to do? And how will I go about that? And how will I want to finance that? Or are we going to still keep going outside to the wall and begging them? Where the cause we for be subdued when they tell waiting for do and that will for do? So, again, over and over and over, many things say it's contemptuous of the system. When I think about them great ideas here, when I already put an openly and common programs like this and others for explain to we and let we ask the questions. How did that come about? Which are the foundation we do lay? How I intend for administer that? Okay, like I see the other day, where one reporter at AYV, I don't know which, it asked the Minister of Information about Falaba, which was a new district created by the Kuruma government. And one of the reporters then said the place terrible, the roads them terrible. And he do a reverse psychology on the reporter and say, how that's why Falaba is important. So Falaba would not have been talked about if it was not a district. Where it sounds to me like the most nonsensical reason I've ever heard. I don't even know what the minister was thinking. But let me stop there right now. Let me just say on the show today with me and my co-host, Mr. Victor Mengot, who is no stranger to the audience. So let me just go back to him, introduce, announcing presence, and then help introduce the topics. So, Mr. Mengot, to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Shyllon. Fambulem, I telling a plenty I do. I'm not saying I not be see me then to Tkiwikia, but as you know, when man don't reach certain stage in a life, body test. Just like how motorcar na transport man would insist say motorcar for the get annual roadworthiness test. So me say been go do annual test for make sure say I fit for country now. Well, by God's grace, I don't come back. And today this topic what they can talk about. Now I have a lot of experience in that area. Although they say salt not the presence of na soup. But me say can say based on my experience, I go share what I don't learn. Because they can talk about Freetown managing the Metropolis. I'll call them Metropolis because they talk about the western region of Freetown. Where now we get two governments. We get we get western urban and western rural. And Freetown is almost a peninsula. It's a peninsula. So now one way we get out of Freetown for going to the regions. And the topography of Freetown is either hills and valleys. So now we the government come and say, in don't go cabinet, it don't present to the government. Say Freetown now, we therefore divide Freetown into two. But at the time we make the announcement, Boku people me ask question. Who say go be na the division line? Waiting at the plan. And waiting give you the rights there for say they divide Freetown. Well, it quotes the Local Government Act 2004, when a section 2 of the Local Government Act we say the president na get right for determining local boundaries and local authorities. But before he do that, he get for consult the Minister of Local Government and Community Affairs, the Minister of Finance, and also I think say get for talk with the ECSL as well. And then he get for look at why he want divide Freetown. But let's remind people how Freetown emerged. Freetown emerged as a municipality. Before 2004, we not been get any local government act. Because we get a system where you get local government under municipal ordinance system. Then we get central government. And now two forms of government. You get a higher level. So the local government act na a creature of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. After we not fetch that long fetch where they say, well, one of the reasons why people get draw and people are not satisfied now because the people are not get involved in how they manage themselves. Would they get responsible? So President Kaba of blessed memory came with this 2004 act. And he came with this act, and not only in the act, you get scheduled at the act where say, okay, let's get local. Let's get scheduled. Areas then where central government go transfer into the local government. So me and my colleague here, we are two people that we don't make them so many times that this platform say, we don't lead a local government ministry. And we'll say why. Because the local government, especially in Freetown, the mayor is actually elected by the people. And he get the people the income as he pleases the president. So that minister now gets so much supervisory powers over local government. Fine. That is what the law say. We know they challenge the law. We just say, is it right? Now, the first proposal, let me say for split the city into two. When they say for please split the city into two, we get a lot of a non-expert them, the court of public opinion. Some people then say, no, why in one split? And I tell you why. And one interesting thing, the minister, even recently, they get a town hall meeting on Thursday, where the minister say, well, whatever the case, the president not even need for consult. According to him, the minister, he can just proclaim and make a proclamation. And even if they make that proclamation there, he cannot do that without parliament. We have always questioned the role of parliament. Because the 2004 Act, na parliament ne pass them. So if they want to establish local governments for restructure Freetown, Western Urban, Western Rural, then get for care and go through parliament. Even if the president make a proclamation, then get for show you one. Why they want to do it? Waiting at the benefits. They go improve service delivery. And now, let's take them by waiting and see. Because this second gen, they don't shift from dividing Freetown into two. Now, I talk about Western Rural and Western Urban. Let's take Western Urban. When you want to divide city, they take population. If they say population, let me tell you one thing very funny. According to statistics, when we do a 10-year census in 2015, the population of Western region, when I talk region, I talk about the urban area and the rural area. And for sure people them, now this program, not to all man know, who's in a Western rural, who's in a Western urban. Okay. Now talk Western urban, the boundary between Western urban and Western rural, na Orogu Bridge. Then by Allentown, before you go Dewey. Now then at the boundary. So after that, from that point, they go Songo, where Songo na they under the colonial system, the colony and the protected been divided. Because then part of Songo na Koya district, and the other part na Western rural, then at the east. Let us come to the west. The west Freetown urban go to a place called Levuma. Levuma they off the peninsula. After you take from Levuma, go to number 2, Toke, York, you go around, go to Arden, Black Johnson, go Hamilton, go Cambos, Kerrytown, Waterloo. All that in a Western rural. I'm telling you the east flank and the west flank. The law take now vertically. What I mean vertically, you take them, like say you go up the hill because Freetown are hill and valley. The boundary between Freetown rural and Freetown urban, now by after hill station, that junction, when that road day, with the up Usa American Embassy Day. After that, Taylor Regent, Gloucester, Usa and the Pulda Water, Grafton, Go Boss na Jue, all na rural. So now saw the division day. So now government non shift. They say, okay, what should they do? Instead of we divide Freetown into from the latest to Yeri, now they want to make 3 districts na Freetown. In a member, so we not being get district na Freetown. Who send the district according to their own proposal now? The new one order Yeri. Then get district 3 East district. When are from Allentown. So all that area there from Allentown. From Allentown, like you see, then call them East 3. Then there will be 1 district. Then when you take them from that Kisi, take them to Wilkins Road, Coal Farm. That will be the central, when at the real FCC now. Then you get West 3. From there, Coal Farm there now, Say go to the part where I say the boundary, data level, my Godrich boundary. Then now they don't change their mind. Instead of dividing two, we get 3 districts. Now Western urban. Then Western rural self now the same. They want another 3 districts. Western it will follow that old pattern we been get. We get the one from Waterloo. Say come by that Toke side. Then you get from the Toke side, take the one at the north now, the mountain districts. Which means from the new proposal that we get, you go get district councils. So 3 now urban Freetown, 3 now rural Freetown. Now let's take one thing where they say we want to divide city. 2015 census. They say this area where they talk so, the western region, when urban and rural, I don't show you the boundary. We'll do the 15 census. They say the population now 1,447,721. Then a rural and urban. And then the one they waiting at the rural, at the urban area, now 1 million. So in other words, now about 500,000 approximately, then a rural, and 1 million then a urban. So in other words, the population of the urban was twice that of the rural. But listen, the interesting thing, we've been getting this midterm census, where the midterm census is swing around. You can't tell we say now the population now the urban area don't reduce. No, the population of the urban area, they talk about western region. If the population will be 2015 will be 1 million, now they say by 2021, 2022, that population will go 600,000. So, in other words, the population of the Freetown urban don't diminish. So if we go by that statistic for divider into 2, even small, according to that. And the military say, more people are not move from urban, go rural. So now what you get is as if the table don't turn. Rural is twice that of urban. So if we take from that statistics there, there's no justification for say, now public, they want to make them change. So for that, for comment on some of them here, I don't mix to the population size, the spatial distribution of population, the different area, how they go about it, and this idea of say government can do no wrong. Over to you, sir. Then we will go now the next thing there, the key challenges. And I want to talk about not just oppose the Freetown decentralization, but let's look at an alternative. When we go and talk based on my knowledge as an urban planner, let's look at rather than consolidation, amalgamation, and I will try to justify that. Over to you, sir, on which I don't present.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mengot. Just in listening to you, and there is so much subtopics we get to deal with. Let's start with the Local Government Act. I don't say that many times in this show. I don't say in the United States, they get a saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If you're not broke, no time for fix up. Wait, they're intact. Now, the whole idea, when I see something wrong, because we are all in favor of progressiveness, we'll get what you call upward mobility or forward mobility. We're all in favor of that. But if we want to do so, the duty of government now for convince the rest of us that whatever endeavor when I don't embark on, now because it is in the best interest of the country and there is evidence to back that conclusion there. So I have always been an opposer of the Local Government Act, I say again, as a lawyer, the Local Government Act now one of the most useless acts Parliament ever passed in the history of Sierra Leone. It's unnecessary. It solves nothing but create confusion, you know. And I think, in fact, it's unconstitutional if people in Sierra Leone were to challenge the legitimacy of the act there. And I've always said, just because Parliament passed an act, does it make it necessarily legal? Does it put any laws passed by Parliament not put that law there beyond testing by the courts? Because any law with Parliament passed, it get for pass muster, meaning it get for be within the purview of the Constitution. I have always taken the position that the Local Government Act not only interferes or conflicts with local ordinances, existing laws, and even the Constitution. I always feel say the Local Government Act kind of usurp, take away the authority of the local governments themselves, the city council and the district councils, where that act they not constitutionally cannot do. But the thing about a democracy and the court system, if laws are not challenged, then they become a law, unless somebody put up a challenge against some of the laws there. So I've always been trying to, it seems like the burden falls more on the opposition, the major opposition party, APC, than it is on any other group of people. Of course, there are civil rights groups and there are other human rights groups that could step in. But in Australia, what you will see, the people already pose challenges. Either they believe, say, when Parliament pass a law, it cannot be challenged, which is a wrong premise. And I've strongly encouraged lawyers them for challenge, particularly the politically connected. The big name are the Adi Macaulay them. Okay, the Joseph Fitzgerald Kamara them. The Mr. Dumbuya them of APC. Them big name politically connected lawyers here, they should not fail to see the illegitimacy in their laws they act there and challenge them. Now, they may not be constitutional lawyers, so maybe they may not see anything wrong with it, but I'm telling them there's a whole lot wrong with it, and they can forget a system where some of these laws can be challenged, or it doesn't matter whether the courts go along, not to the issue that would they try for improve a country on all fronts. So therefore, we just simply say, we all get a responsibility. Lawyers and get responsibility, doctors and get responsibility, engineers and so are the politicians. So what we are seeing here now, this section and 2 of the Local Government Act, they will create more problem than it solve. And it looked to me like there is some jealousy by the central government officials them of local government, and then they just decide then they grab onto power where they not get. The power given to the minister, the local government minister, is illegal according to the Constitution, because it encroaches on the power of the mayor and the district councils then. But these things will never be solved unless we bring that up. Now, what you mean to suggest, okay, let me just take into account like what Mr. Mengot just tell we about the urban Australian, the urban rural, you know, and the western rural and the western urban. Okay, so you get 3-3. You get this 3-3 district where I create. We talk about creation of 6 districts, and I stand corrected. Mr. Mengot can correct me. But now 6 districts, then 6 districts, plus we are talking about 2 districts, one Kenema district. Kenema district is going to be split. Then another district I think Abo district on the south gave up a split. So we're talking about these people talking about introducing 8 districts. 8. Now, they will analyze the district here. 8 districts at a time. Financially, structurally, expertise-wise. We lack all of that. So are they serious about what they're trying to do for introduce? And then Western area district here will be much smaller than the current district as we know them up country. They will be much smaller than Kailang. They will be much smaller than Bo. They will be much smaller. I mean, these are, to me, a thoughtless, dangerous attempt for put the country not only like a whole century back. There is no way, and I challenge the officials, they would talk about all the changes here, make them convince we, because practically it will not work. They not get the expertise for make them changes everything they do for make it work. They carry now in Falabawe and Eskoroma and do with terrible, which should not have been done. If anything, for the talk for reverse, then this send it back to original 12. Okay, now that will for the talk, but this current government is for the talk, but not for create more confusion, more division, more everything way go make sure say nothing works. It will just compound corruption. It will compound incompetence. And this is you don't have to be a rocket scientist to see that. The expertise just is in there. And then the ridiculous thing we didn't come up with before. And again, I'm using the adjective here because I'm trying to provoke a reaction by some of the minister or the government or cabinet. Many can explain to we when they talk for divide Freetown into 2. When I give you instances of countries we want to know of, we don't see instances when 2 cities can come together and be one. In Tanzania, you get a country and city where at Zanzibar, in Tanganyika, then it became one country, and then it became one city. And in North Carolina, Usami belong, we get 2-3 towns, then we come together like Mauritania and Aberdeen, then can combine them, then become one. But I don't know of any city at the world when I be one. It was split into 2 and it's being run efficiently. There may be some. So when I owe the people them a duty for explain and tell them not only that theoretically it will work, tell us how we will sustain such division or creation or whatever we want for column. And if the political advantage when they try to get is short-sighted, it will do no one any good in the long run and the short run. So these are dangerous attempts by some of the leaders, and that borders on irresponsibility. So then this talk about consultation with the people, and I think Mr. Mengot said just know that when the minister of the introducer, he said the president does not have to. I think he said the president can do that by proclamation. The president does not have to consult. So he left the impression, just a matter of courtesy that the president did do that. That he can. But so if that is true, logically speaking, if the law already said the president can determine boundaries without the involvement of parliament, which I think is crazy law, that a president or the executive can just determine and redetermine boundaries. Would parliament have nothing to do with that, no hands in it? Whoever put that law there together or put it in the constitution, if it is in the constitution, this just speak of people and what they lead what they call themselves, the lawyers, and whatever they call themselves for lead it just demonstrates them fitness or unfitness. Because how boundaries can be determined by the executive alone, without parliament having anything to do with that. What kind of law is that? Okay.
Now, just to make a point clear, let's make a point clear for our listeners. When the president don't demarcate, you don't make the boundary. We can go back to how they get Falaba, which is one thing I've always argued against. They will now have to prepare a statutory instrument which will be submitted to Parliament for say, well, President don't declare, say, this has been created because I saw them in create Falaba and Karina. Now, when that statutory instrument goes to Parliament, one of the things that way with statutory instrument parliamentary procedures, the statutory instrument get an explanatory note. And that explanatory note there for say one, how did the president on advice of the people that conclusion they say, then district here will be created. Who were the people consulted? What were their reaction? Waiting to be the financial implication, waiting to be the administrative implication. So it's backed by, but here is the problem. When that statutory instrument is laid in Parliament, the onus is on the opposition or who are against it. Right? Two-thirds for to amount. If that two-thirds majority is not achieved, then after 20 years, it becomes law. So the only two way Parliament gets see now when the executive can go Parliament for support any MP for say against. Because remember, hey, now even precarious. And I'll bring this to the notice of people in my view. Because since a proportional representation system where the MP them, now the party puts them there, then go behave according to party dictates, party whips and the executive. And they will just rubber stamp. Yeah, when they create so, if we still go to the next election with proportional representation, then district here, then go elect the MPs according to a district list. So these are the situation. This is what our people should be aware of. So Parliament get a role, but only when the executive don't present unto them. If the executive is sincere, then forget an explanatory note why they want to do that. One of the things they want to talk about, I don't dispel one of the myths, we talk population increase. In fact, according to the census we then do, Freetown urban has seen a population decrease. So if the population decrease, why do you want to split it? Freetown rural, we don't get a population increase. Now then maybe for the look of how do you manage Freetown rural or Western rural? So I would like to clarify that point there. So that is how Parliament will work with the executive for make this tier can to. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much again, Mr. Mengot, about the point at which Parliament is involved, because generally Parliament should be involved. I think in most, if not every country that I know, the involvement of Parliament cannot be or should not be after the fact. Based upon how you describe the process and the procedure, the government already makes a determination that a certain demarcation, then just go on for the formality so then they can propose them, but it's already baked into the cake, so to speak, that it is being presented to Parliament. Parliament should be involved at the early stage, primarily demarcations, as far as I know, generally in most countries, Parliament determines that, not a president and takes it to Parliament. So that they put the cart before the horse procedural in our country. So they make you doubt the sincerity of the law itself. If it was done purely, that process that we just described, so whether an out of ignorance, because they don't understand parliamentary procedure or governmental responsibility, or it was deliberately slanted so it can be that way. Because how does the executive determine within cabinet for say, then they come up with demarcations or boundaries, and then take on to Parliament and knowing with procedure only for Parliament to confirm. Now, here are some of the dangers about this thing, about the way they get them. Because you also mentioned to we say, when the thing is presented to Parliament, ordinarily again, worldwide, una way one for that demarcation, they for be the boundary. Now the burden for them una for prove why and how. Now we on process it, take it to Parliament, and then get the one that way oppose for come up with 2/3 majority, not the one that would propose the law and the changes. So where do you see that, other than somebody mischievously come get some ideas, that when the opposition for Ghana 2/3 majority for defeat a proposal such as a president and a cabinet just decide say boundaries should be changed, boundaries should be moved, and I don't even understand. You're not going to be a rocket scientist to know if you left boundary demarcation or determination in the hands of politicians. Well, say for example, why is it that a president in a quiet moment might not decide, say, well, my district work come too small. Now I go co-opt the next district. I go say, historically, na we be get there. So I take 2-3 towns from that other district there and put up a million district worth. Because now me get the power, me the president. Okay, so I can redefine boundaries based upon how I feel, how I see. Then my cabinet can just go present in a parliament for rubber stamping, not for any intellectual determination. And we don't see anything wrong with that. That power they set for determining our propose should not be given to the president at all. At all. Bad law. President should not have the power to just look and determine boundaries. And this is what, because you destroy the development and the trend of a country that way. And that's why this power they want for rest primarily in the hands of Parliament. So if a member of Parliament, for whatever reason, sees the need to propose a boundary determination, take the idea to Parliament and let Parliament determine. We're not debating. But now let we not say they come, we don't meet in a cabinet. Some cabinet ministers then don't meet. Wait, what is cabinet? Cabinet now just a phrase we would use for determine the wishes of the president. That's all it is. We want to meet in a cabinet, the president tell us what he wants. Everybody follows suit. You don't get any opposition. Because if you oppose, you'll be out. So you get what I agree. So cabinet is the mouthpiece of just the president. How they articulate the president in determination. So there are lots and lots of things wrong with what you would see. So, like I say again, I will say it over and over. The Local Government Act is an obstructionist piece of legislation. It does nothing for further the interests of justice. It does nothing to further the social progressiveness of the country. All it does, it creates stagnation. It creates retrogression. Now, the one that we passed, we proposed that law, if they think say I'm wrong, come and tell us what good this Local Government Act they do. It's an unnecessary law. Shyllon was running fine without it until we get some genius who probably has 10 PhD, who thinks he knows more than everybody else. So let's tell we have this thing we don't propose so workable. These are some of the things that people like me, they I don't know if I would say criticize, you know. Now, before I go back to Mr. Mengot, this thing about the need for the central government for intertwine or interfere with the administration of policy with the city council. All over the world, city council, the local government, has always been distinguished from central government. In the United States, you get the federal government, you get the state government, you get county government, you get city government. All the while they get their own operation, they not interfere with each other. Every now and then, something in a boundary line can be an issue with the Supreme Court get the jurisdiction for decide over. But as far as central government wanting to take over activities without any justification, because Freetown used to be a very effective, efficient, one of the early cities there in West Africa. It was very well run. So why is it now, all of a sudden, Freetown, oh, we get local government, we get minister them into the process and everything. Why is it so it's not being efficiently run? Because the reason being, then laws here are being passed to obstruct the efficient dispensation of policies, not for efficiently run the country so we will be progressive. So these are some of the things where people like me, they condemn. And last but not least, this phrase about consulting with the people, it has no meaning. It is a meaningless phrase. How does a government consult with the people? When you call a meeting, now a location, you're a government official, you begin explaining to them certain idea. That's not consulting. I mean, I don't think it's the appropriate use of the word consult. Because for then actually within the talk, a referendum for be that's how you consult with the people. You come up with an idea, you say, but we could put it in a referendum, let the people vote on that. That is a more appropriate way of consulting. You throw an idea to the people, you now get feedback from them. The feedback is going to be the referendum. When you tell them what you want, when the referendum, yay or nay, then that's consultation. But you not go sit down on your high horse, you tell the people and say, oh, well, you know what? Now we want for begin, we don't want to kind of Freetown anymore, because we just think about something the other day. We'll get air taxi, now the breeze, now helicopter taxi, then we'll get for the use of Freetown. And we're not going to explain to ourselves how it will work. Now that would feel that would be the next stop. Then when I go back when I say we don't consult with the people. How? When the people are not give feedback for say, it could be dangerous, that is not workable. Most of you not get money for buy a helicopter and on and on and on and on. So this whole process and the phrase consultation with the people is wrong. It's not being appropriately applied at all in Australia. It almost reminds me of this a meaningless phrase wouldn't say, you are invited, the CID invite you. Well, an invitation is an invitation, meaning I ask you kindly for can't talk or can't see me or can't participate with me on a celebration. It's not an order. You get the right for say, well, Mr. Shyllon, I'm busy. I know they come. I don't know what this is about. Or you're not going to give me any reason. But now back home, we say when the police invite you, they use the word invite. You must come. Well, doesn't that contradict the meaning of invitation? That I have to? So sometimes the old colonial phrases they're not look applicable and they're not consistent with behavior them now. And we still use their old phrases than they. But I think we should stop using the word being invited by the police or the CID. And the CID not no business inviting people. If you are a suspect, they should just ask you, based upon your right to due process, that they want to talk to you. And you forget the right for saying, no, I'm not coming. So would it misuse the word order? Simple order, what we know very well, which that means, would it conflict the word order with invitation, and then would it abuse the word invite or invitation when the person not there in the spirit of doing or honoring the invitation, where invitation not to something you get for honor. So let me go back to you, Mr. Mengot. I just want to touch on them boundaries. Then I am opposed to the president, in spite of the way you explain the process. Then they go and introduce the bill in Parliament. And then Parliament will vote on that, and then Parliament, the one that will oppose in Parliament and then come up with a 2/3 a majority for defeat the proposed bill, which I find to be not only a reverse process, it is an unfair process because I am positioned of the president and the cabinet on the will of the people. And like you say, since the people, the parliamentarians, they represent them party, not to the people. So they get for do what in the party want them to do. So back to you, sir. And if I mistake your explanation, I stand corrected.
Oh, no, sir. Coming back on your theme, do, because I mean, I can always go by waiting the law say. Actually, before we not been get local government act, when we not been get local government act, let us see what we been get. The city council, we been get a city engineerment, where we responsible for road maintenance. And if they say the reason for this dividing now for service delivery, I go to take one exact key issue for those road maintenance. Well, let me tell you what's very interesting. The act say it prescribe even the structure. It said each local government forget 4 division: administration, planning and development, finance, and internal audit. That the 4 under the name. Now look at the administration. Who is the head of the administration and government, especially the city council? The city council administrator is an employee of the Minister of Local Government. He's answerable to that. And I get to do key issues for deal with city council administration and all that. So it's a strand. Planning government, local government supposed to do development plan. In fact, from then development plan, they go determine service delivery, things to do with the structure, zoning, supervision. But also the act also say in the council development plan, they should be guided by the Ministry of Development. So even when it comes to social services, the Ministry of Social Services or Social Welfare get somebody with a second to the to the local government. That person there answerable to a minister. Affairs is the same. So you see, local government have been computerized. The government gets so strong. And one government creates, well, they know the talk stuff. You don't ministry. Now the Ministry for Western nothing from them. And we get a city minister who has been paid, backed up by civil government. Which in the Ministry of Western Region they do. So these are the. But now, service delivery, let us cut one area where in a Freetown'S, Western Region, concerned about, especially now we get the season, we see things to do to road repair. We see even the new transport where they bring the worker fine buses, the even at the Western Region of Freetown, they want to move their other transport, then go on old road, the road where they not repair. So they reserve also for a case study approach. Now we are waiting the mayor about road infrastructure development. We know that city and we'll talk. We get the control room as an example, which is the situation and how by dividing Freetown whether system will change. Control room play the we.
And I'm glad you say we get an organization where in name will make it clear who that they collect fees. That organization they name Road Maintenance Fund. Then you no need for land book for no say the purpose of that institution day now for maintain the road. So when you pay you buy license for your vehicle, I believe say even when you buy fuel, money they go from every single one of them transactions then they towards the road maintenance fund. Now the institution where they do the physical work, not to the road maintenance fund. Now the Sierra Leone Roads Authority, SLRA. And I know because myself don't go meet SLRA for say waiting to happen to the roads na Freetown. I not see maintenance. In fact, we just see a deterioration of the roads na Freetown. I tell you, Mabel and Khadija, somebody sent me a video. Then there's there where it taking time. It do waiting most of we see every day, but it put time in a short video where you able to see roads them, and then he interview people them. He interviewed 2 councillors. Where one of the councillors they talk about na Mainkine, no na Moiba, Calabato, Mainkine. Usai the road don't cut, the road so bad. He said the community people them, be one can fix the road, then one can do self-help. SLRA stop them. They say that the responsibility and they don't give contract to Chinese. That was 2 years ago. The road they in a deplorable state. But then a corner side, let me look Secular Road. Let me look Eastern Police. Let me look, just name it. Let me look Sanders Street, the roads then off Sanders Street. Then small roads then Victoria Street, where they go off Sanders Street. Look the roads them King Street, where they go off of Main Street. You know, waiting heartbreaking for me, Khadija. At the same time where somebody sent me this video, I seen a social media a post where I will read out to you. I will read out for viewers because I've been very concerned by this. And the post reads, President Bio has fulfilled a long-standing promise to the people of Kenema. The town, once congested with rotted and impassable roads, is now transformed, its streets paved, its dignity restored, and its future bright. Ongoing construction and beautification work in Kenema town, which began in 2019. And then they list the roads: Maxwell Kobe, Koroma, Sombo, Madabio, Reserve. They list Sia, Hotangua, Bania. They list 42 roads. Then they say hashtag we will deliver. The capital city, North Sea road construction maintenance going on. And the road maintenance fund, I believe, say the highest amount of contribution where they go to the road maintenance fund of Sierra Leone, the common of Freetown.
Okay. Now, we don't see say waiting the happen. There is this battle between central government and local government when it comes to service delivery. And also there's a battle again where it don't begin to on politics. Because from the mayor video, or what you see in the talk about Kenema, and whoever writes will not know the source, so we'll not go talk too much about that. Talk about say then deliver na Kenema. Well, from my own view, as a transport professional and urban planner, it should not be either Kenema or Freetown, or Bo, Makeni, or Putloko, or Bont. We must have a system whereby all roads in local government or local area for be maintained based on the need. And how do you do that? Road classification. What do I mean classification? In Sierra Leone, we get 3 types of road that we classify a road. We get primary road, we get secondary road, we get district and feeder roads. And why they do road classification? They classify roads according to the traffic volume, the importance of the road. And let's be generic. Let's not be parochial. And then they talk about now how the system for run. Where it means the relationship between central and local government. And what you mean they happen, we don't cause this problem. Because as a traffic engineer and urban planner, in most countries, roads are classified. You get 4 different classifications: A roads, B roads, C roads, and D roads. First of all, the Salone Roads Authority, now then get to do that proper classification. What do you mean by A roads? A roads, the main net. I'll give you an example. Like the Waterloo Mashaka Road, that is a road. Because of the connect rural and western urban to the rest of the region, right? You take the road where they come out from Putloko to go north to McKinney, or the one they go south from Mile 91, go Moyamba Junction, Bo, or Bo Kenema Highway. That one and then are the primary road system. Then therefore they under the jurisdiction of the central government, when at the Ministry of Roads, we now Ministries and Public Asset Roads. Waiting at B roads. This is a regional connectivity road, right? Where they run within the district or connection. I can give you an example for Freetown. If you take the Peninsula Road, that's not B road, because Peninsula Road starts from, let's say it starts from that bridge where get 3 names. Juba Bridge, Sembe Bridge,
and Wallace Johnson Bridge.
And Wallace Johnson Bridge.
Yeah.
So that road there, where they go round, say go bus na Kerry Tongo Waterloo, that is a B road. So part of that road in a district connected road, where then they get for under the jurisdiction also of the central government. When we talk about C roads, from the example where they give, now if you take part of Circular Road, Regent Road, then road and they right? Because now road we on within Freetown. They get the side road. If you take Circular Road now, coming from Christchurch on your right, because the area have been there, you start after Christchurch, Clarence Street, Al Street, Prince Street, Duke Street, Queen Street, King Street. Now City Council road them. So waiting for happen. How for do better service delivery? The Salone Roads Authority for class determine maintenance responsibility. City Council now forget annual road maintenance plan. Now make sure they need capacity for do a survey of that roads. Now make sure we get city engineers department. Where in the past we get remember the people for this. So until that is done, then I can talk about the finance, how they get source of finance and how they distribute funds. Well, I hold on there because I think so we'll get a caller on the line. As you can do, Mr. Shyllon, do the prompt for me. Then I'll talk about the interrelationship between the agencies that were responsible for maintenance and finance, and USA we don't get it wrong. Yes, you can prompt the caller now.
All right, sir. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where's the call from?
Hello, yeah. Hello, Mr. Shyllon and Mr. Mengot. This is Abdul call. Now, good evening. This is Abdul call from Maryland.
Okay,
I
Abdul,
just want to go
welcome.
more on
Good
this.
evening. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to go more on this topic on this local
Okay.
government, proposed local government divisions where the government they intend for do. As I don't always they say, and with this local government, or when the decentralization come into being, first of all, I can always say these two parts here, then politics is full of deceptions. And I go slightly disagree with you, Mr. Shyllon, about the essence of getting a local government act in 2002. When Tijan Kaba me propose immediately after the 2002 elections, because me they follow and jealously, as I tell you, I say, I write me dissertation on under public administration. When Tijan Kaba proposed in 2002, intention na for resuscitate them after them become moribund. You and I know say when Shaka Stephen take power in 1968, now he abolished the local government through elections, then by appointment. So all the mayor, the district councils, the mayor, Jules Olsurones, to Akibobe, their own time, they were all appointees. They were not elected into office. There are good things in the Local Government Act. The problem where I get with them now the implementation. They blame both parties, the SLPP and the APC. The SLPP failed for implementation since 2007 because they want to score political points. So the implementation was shady. But I mean, they expect when APC take over power in 2007, therefore we can't correct that mistake. The key stumbling block, there are two stumbling blocks. One is finance, and two, devolution. Because the local governments, they are semi-autonomous. They are quasi-government. The function same, when we expect say therefore don't be involved. Now in the government in, government out, the two governments, SLPP when they all go, APC and the SLPP don't take over again, they are still digging in their heels to implement waiting then at the local government act. Even to the schools, that is the primary school and the JSS, it was solely there in the hands of the local government. The primary health cares, they should be under the local government. The issuance of license, they should be under the local government. Like building permits, they all should be under the local government. But because the two governments fail, they try for score political points. Because SLPP may don't make the mistake from 2004 to 2007. When the former government and the government take over, I mean, they feel to say, if I correct that mistake, so now the reason that, because now this NACME and NACU, the two party they found, when Akisoya they complain now, because she is the loudest voice amongst all the local government heads, the current government they tell us they retort, they tell and say, why una government una mediate they una no me don't do that. So then thing they are. And the second aspect of it, when are the main bone of contention, when are the obstacle for implementing these divisions when government is so now finance. I read the Akisoya now one of him programs I think are Liberty or AYV. The two situation the last week they say now 1 quarter they don't receive no more. So how we expect say for receive 1 quarter for implement projects when the councils them for implement, especially thinking about councils when they not to generate enough revenue. When I remember some time ago, few months ago, I showed that Tonko Lily school bus when they're not able to get money for buy the spare parts for the bus. These are some of the problems because government know they disburse the funds on time and the funds they're meager. I won't say this times and again that the local government tax, the individual tax where people they pay since 2004 now the same money they pay now about 5 loans. And now Peter's done you know they expect a minister, a director for the pay 5 loan like the man with the sweep street. It's not supposed to be that way. It should be pay as you earn. Una make a minimal for people away. Una no say they were then they na the margins of the economy. But it is still a problem. And I know they see this decentralization where the minister talks about say it go yield any fruit. It go be the same thing because they not get money for phone them. So when I go divide Freetown into 5 because now five sections they want divide Freetown into Freetown Urban 2, Freetown Rural 3. Then with Bandajuma and Panguma way proposed. Where is the money for let them local entities and they for let them go able for undertake the policies and projects efficiently for serve the people. So I just think for make this small contribution has stopped so far. It is just a lip service. Anyway. Well, thank you.
Okay, before Mr. Mengot, before you say something there, I want to address or I want to ask some clarification from Abdul. You said the local government gets some good things then. But you now mention the good things then where the local government contain, we go take what better pass within the pre-existing things then will be there. I would like for no then the good things then with the local, not a reputation, but if the local government contain activities or responsibilities that the previous practice of the city council had, they not deserve credit for that. And two, I want to ask the question, because Abdul comes across to me now as an expert because he's writing thesis on something along that line there. So, in fact, if we're serious back homes, people like in China, then for the contact, forget some idea. But so I don't understand. So when you talk about the good things, then I would just want to enlighten me for telling me the good things then with the local government. You're saying disagree with me, which I humbly accept. But when you disagree, you get to tell me where I'm wrong because I have characterized the local government act as an obstructionist act, as an illegal act. As a law where you usurp the power of the local government and that parliament not get the authority for do that and that the law should be challenged. So I want to know on which grounds, on which basis Abdul disagree with me. And this, in fact, I would like for you to get the exchange there because you might draw my attention to something where I think for overlook. You also mentioned things then where you say that the city council for do that, which is quite different for say that they do that now because as far as we know, then take all the power from the mayor and councillors then put it in the hands of one person when at the minister. So instead of talking about money in at the handicap, I think for ask the question, what was the need and why didn't we just revert to you give me the background of how things were, how Pashaki make all the changes then they, when me and you go agree for say, these were changes that were short-sighted and detrimental to the interests of Freetown. So when we come back under Pakaba, why didn't we just revert to the old system? And just revert because Parliament could have and proclaim that and do whatever parliamentary maneuver they get for do for make the practice. So the mayor, and as far as we know, not a minister they run, a minister na any country not they run city. The city mayor na the chief, and you get a chief administrator which would generally known universally as town manager. So there is a lot of defect with the law. And as long as that law exists, Sierra Leone would never be able to see its head above water because we do it the wrong way. There are people who have expertise, just like you, Abdul. I will get for land for begin consult people and we get qualification, education, experience in certain fields and avoid this grandstanding for just make anybody, it's okay for make anybody minister, but when you put your team together, you get forget experts then, you know? So some of them things I will appreciate if you go just elaborate on that. But let me caution you, maybe Mr. Mengot gets something, I don't want to preempt him. Therefore say, if Mr. Mengot can wait for you, forgive your answer, fine, or Mr. Mengot can make you whole and make him add or take away from what you made to say. So Mr. Mengot, to you, sir. Yeah, no.
We get another call on the line.
It could be the same person, but that's why I'm making a move there. But go ahead. Hello, caller. What's your name? Who's to call from?
Well, good evening, it's young men in the station. Thank you very much for my time.
Thank you very much.
The contributor wa Wangina, first of all, I want Mr. Kabo thank you back for your patience because you get so much tolerance for dealing with people and even some people and few people that get for block them because they push too hard. I see the last broadcast where you engage wow brother where all of a sudden you see the light. You see I'm quick. Thank you, Mr. Kabo, for your time and I mean and your tolerance where you tolerate your brother for make you try for see how you change their minds. The issue about this local governance when they talk about this is not the result of the type of democracy we they practice, where instead of we focus on delivery of services, because we're not get for deliver, we're not get for campaign, then they vote for we on ethnic groups or languages or region. We don't put attention on the things that matter. That's the result now we get so. You see people that we kind of power, we talk all the good things them say that they can't do. Today, formula for water for let people and drink. They not get them. All man get typhoid. Then look at it and they say they no matter. Now we can talk about splitting. Belgium gets 560 or something municipalities. Now every year they are decreasing because then they merge. Last year alone, 28, they call them Minton, where they call them municipalities, maybe by English, or communities or commune. Every year, then they merge. When they merge, then they strengthen their budget and for more, delivery of services. Now we they merge. But then a country where we say the 2026 5 budgets, they not give 1 penny each, but you say one bring governance to the people. So, well, I don't understand how you want to bring this governance when money says way for give to the people. The one they wouldn't just pay them. We're gonna salary no more than they pay. We're not pay that money. This is October coming, and then because simply these guys don't have to campaign. They don't need that. All what they need by election. Now we did that this area. Now we talk this language. Now party this. We now vote for we and people they vote for them back because there is no democracy amongst the people. I will continue to talk this until and unless we tackle that system of governance. We copy from the one that we can give the democracy. We not go deliver services. We will never deliver services. We only go to consolidate power. We say now we the governors them don't make small devolution instead of doing the things the way you campaign say they can't do. This is ridiculous. Freetown or Western rural, or look even for about them we go create TTD what road no DD, water no DD, Nothing
Yeah.
only day. Una still live and split for political reasons.
Ridiculous.
Politics not
And
for
shame.
just be about voting. It will be about the improvement of living conditions. But because we not get that political system where they hold people accountable, so they will not do it. That is not an issue. Wait, this no election term reach. Then they go and cook for people. The same people will be suffer for complaining for the past 4.5 years, and they dance back, then go back and line back, they vote for them because these are our tribe people. So I just want to give this me conclusion. Say we get for do hard though if we want move from this, but me I not see any hope or say governance will improve in the next 20 years even. And I thank you for the program.
Thank you. Back to you, Mr. Mengot.
Waiting Abdul been they say
Uh-huh.
the local government act, yes, if you look at schedule 1 of the act, because any act you get the main body of the act, you can get schedule, which is an addendum to the act which clarify certain things then get a list of functions then where for devolve to local government. Let us see what's happen then function and they
May I interrupt you? Yeah. That's
Yeah.
quick question. Then list of functions they will devolve to local government. They were not prior existing items before the local government come into effect. Because
Well,
were there new
they were
ideas? Were there new ideas that were being passed to the local government? I just want clarification. That's all.
Well, local government used to do that. Let's take 2 ministries, for instance.
That's what I thought. Well, go ahead.
They mentioned 2 or 3. Right. Under Ministry of Education, under the schedule, when it comes to education, they should have transferred or make sure the local government is directly responsible for primary school education. That is from preschool to JS1. Waiting at JSS1, so tell some people in Medina, we don't understand that system there. Because what you been get before and go nursery, what called kindergarten. Most of we start school, primary school, class 1 at age 5. In fact, we been get that system where they say you get for put your hand over your head for see if the aunt yes. When me say you don't ready for go school. So we get a system where we do 2-year primary school, infants, class 1 and class 2. You do 5-year primary school, what we call standard 1, standard 2, standard. Then you begin standard 6. Then for that, they will not be able pass common entrance, so I repeat. Then they put you in a standard 5 again. You go standard 6. Then you go from 1, from 2, from 3, from 4, from 5, then you sit O level. Then if you're able, you get na university, 5 credits, or you go 6 form, lower 6, upper 6. The difference is where you do 6 form, if you go university, instead of you go prelim, you go intermediate year. So when they change the system, then bring a new system called 6334. The 6 na primary school, then a straight primary school 6 year, instead of 7 what we do. Then you do 3, then from 1, from 2, from 3, when now they call GSS1, GSS2, GSS3. Okay? Then you get the other 3 when a senior secondary school, SS1, SS2, SS3 for go university. So what in the act say, it say when it comes to education, local government are therefore responsible for primary school up to SS when they take called Beke now. Beke means basic education certificate or something. Yeah. So before that, city council been get municipal schools, right? The way we been get primary school, we get municipal schools. Now makes we get Boku city council school in Freetown'S, we change to Fataraman. Akibo Bet, Tawali municipal. We get Eastern municipal. So city council will be responsible for that school and they. Then also, city council will be responsible for secondary school. We get municipal secondary school. So city council will get direct responsibility for school. So it not change. We've been doing in the past. Now it just be say, then put under the act based on the new system we don't get. Then a one ministry. Now the one way we're really concerned about, now waiting for do it, the ministry what they call now Ministry of Lands, Housing and Country Planning. Now, under the schedule, it say city council and then for do land, yeah, and then for issue building permits, and then for look at proper exchange, and then for and they been there under city council. We get city council planning department. We get city council surveyors there. We get building inspectors there. So these are nothing new.
Exactly, that's my point.
Now, that's what council been do, and we don't get that deterioration during the time when Shaka Stephen been dissolve them. Then we also get the war and put all land into perspective. So waiting in at the schedule, there's nothing new. Even city council been a give dog license. Omo Lankese been a get license. Bicycle when be a prominent form of transport was being licensed by city council. So let's stop there. There's another caller on the line.
Hello, caller. What you know your name? Which side you call from?
Good evening, gentlemen. Concerned citizen calling from Washington, D.C.
All right, sir. Thank you. Nice to hear from you again.
Yes, sir. As always, it's a pleasure to listen to you two brilliant analysis. Today, I want to talk about something maybe slightly different from what Unadepan talked to so about right now, but all connected. So now bear with me. Last night, Friday night, our government in the United Nations Security Council, since we're still in the Security Council, we voted against Iran on Friday night. And this vote we will vote on Friday night, voting that means that will bring back snap sanction against Iran. China and Russia and other major countries voted against it. Of course, una know we voted for the sanctions, so we sided with una know what. This was a serious blunder and a serious mistake. Me, now one person, we been believe say this president and this administration failed domestically big time in any metrics where you want for look at. But in a foreign policy aspect, me been feel say them they do well. From when they become member in the Security Council, the first thing the president did was advocating for permanent seat for Africa, and then standing for the Palestinian cause, you know, voting always with the Palestinian side, with what's going on with the genocide that's been happening the last 2 years. But yesterday, on Friday, they went different way. And they went different way because of pressure. And it was a strategic blunder. A strategic blunder that will haunt us in years to come. Because the world is changing. If anything, then for we don't just sit present and no vote for neither side, but then take side yesterday. And that is very, very sad. That is very, very unfortunate, because the side we then take, now then same people and they bring the war, now we land. Now then same people and they, it's how when I feel say all the diamonds them, we've been to go through the war with the Lebanese smuggle. It's how all that diamond they end up. This is what the TRC report failed to put down and mention, and we all know the reason why. All those diamonds end up in Israel. Every single one of them. You want to make the connection? I leave that up to you. It's like you feel say all the guns and come on. Liberia been to make guns. The lie wouldn't tell you, then say it come off from Gaddafi. What in the strategic interest for Gaddafi for have won a Salone? What in the strategic interest? If Gaddafi be one diamond so much, Salone at that point, President Momo, they need money so much. Gaddafi got so much money. You feel say Gaddafi enough of him just show up in Salone and give President Momo $200-300 million and get all the diamond he wants? My brothers and sisters, it's all connected. It's all connected. And we cannot talk about Salone anything. Me, I truly believe this. I truly believe this until we address the Lebanese problem in Salone, until you address Dandy, their monopoly, their criminal cartel monopoly in Salone. Nothing works because they are the source of all corruption at the land. And then they fund all corruption at the land. It's beneficial for them for letting things go the way it is today. And then replace the colonial power since they left. And then they run the economy since they left.
Thank you very much. I think you don't get the bear. We don't hear what you say. And I would like to make this point, say that now your opinion. We we entertain all people in view, but let's stick to the subject matter. I know say there's interrelation, but let's stick to the subject matter. But before I go further, somebody mentioned just now, so we get minister for London.
Yeah,
local government minister. And let me be clear. He said, but there's a minister for London in the UK. Yes, if you check, minister for London is a minister of the crown, enrolled in a liaison between Greater London Authority. Because if na comparison you want to make, we get a mayor for London, where na two mayors that will get in London. We get a mayor for London when the Greater London Authority, when a Sidi Khan, and he's responsible for the city of London and 32 London boroughs. And the mayor of London, not even they interfere with the individual boroughs, their responsibility, when it comes to granting of planning permission, things to do with even traffic management authority. So it is not comparing likes with like. Yes, we get a minister for London, when a junior minister, in fact, not even cabinet minister, so I may complain. Which will get a salary, get a minister, and they supervise all local government activity. Now they monitor them, and also get minister for Western region. And the difference, another difference is the minister for local government, now in the administrator, the answer to. In London, all the people in the Greater London Authority, then they answer to the Mayor of London, who is elected. And he's elected for all the 32 boroughs in London, which London is quite a big area. Greater London gets a population of 7 million. We're in one authority. We get a population of 600,000 now. Freetown alone, there you are split into two. So my brother, we like for come with facts and opinion. And let me come to you plain. I spent 6 years working in local government in the UK. So I know how the local government system in London works from practical example. And I'm also a qualified urban planner. Thank you very much, sir. But welcome your opinion. Over to you, sir, Mr. Shyllon.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mengot. In continuation of what you say concerning this comparison of, in fact, I make a note now when I see the comment coming, say there is a minister of London in England. And it's a good thing because this person came up with that, it suggests that. And that's why I say, like we always talk, say, this show, now for let we educate ourselves. So this person will give an example there, just go by the phrase Minister of London. But now, Mr. Mengot don't add to a million education or information, as well as this person for say, number one, that Minister of London there is not of the same ranking of what you will get Minister in Sierra Leone. We not get Minister of Freetown, we get Minister of Local Government and a full-fledged minister. Then, number two, it make we understand even more for say you get 2 mayors. So not that the number matters. Mayor of London, Mayor of Freetown, Mayor of Western Area, Mayor of Local Government. What is important is that we understand, because I make a note and I say, don't copy for copying sake, because this is what we're good at, Sierra Leone. We see something, we want emulator, we not get the substance of it, we not get out, we don't know how to work. So we say just like Minister of Western Area. And then we get Local Government Act. All of those things sound impressive. But before we begin past then introducing our parliament, we understand which is the meaning. Then we not just copy for copying sake, because it does no good. So I am simply saying again and again and again. In fact, somebody send a comment to say, if only we live in an ideal world. Well, whatever that means, my interpretation for that is because we don't live in an ideal world, so it's okay for government not to make any effort for people to have employment. Because we don't live in an ideal world, it's okay that corruption can permeate the system. Because we don't live in an ideal world, it's okay that people should have poor health system. Because we don't live in an ideal world, it's okay that electricity for be interrupted, and on and on and on. So sometimes we have to be careful when we make them thing here. And the other thing I want to remind people in the way they come up with is if only we live in an ideal world. The people for whom we're advocating these things are for the less privileged. In fact, the one that will not get privilege at all. So to me, when you say if only we live in an ideal world, it means an important part of we existence should be accept, struggle, suffering, anxiety, don't do anything about it, because in the ideal world, poor people don't go exist. In an ideal world, people don't go sick, so no improve medical dispensation, no build medical facilities. In an ideal world, people and they will be illiterate, so no get access to more people. So we have to be careful when we say them things there. Let we use education, we'll get wisely for humanity, for the good of humanity, not for just social we learn book. Yeah, in an ideal world, there are a lot of things that are by our own creation. Some of the economic hardship we suffer from, now we own creation. Not of us saying so God destined we for B, but because of selfishness, because of greed, things were for improve the quality of life. We take them with a narrow-minded way. So in that sense, it's not benefiting the person we get the authority for implementing, nor is it benefiting the country. So and I hope I mistook the implication of the phrase, if only we are living in an ideal world. But I think my interpretation, the inference drawn by me from that phrase there, is just what I'm saying. So we don't live in a perfect world. So, and damn hardship, damn poverty, damn, you know what I mean. But I think we have to make the world ideal. That's our job. And we could live in an ideal world. We therefore strive towards that. So I see nothing wrong with that. So it's about time some of we get more human sensitivity than we tend, for sure. But going back to this Minister of London, and one major thing I wanted to make clear, assuming, which is not the case, that there was indeed a ranking Minister of London, England. My argument is England does not have a constitution. I'm arguing the constitutionality of the existence of the Local Government Act. I have maintained it is illegal. I've maintained that it's beyond the purview of Parliament for pass that law. I have maintained that the court should strike that act there, or most of it, if not in totality. Most of it should be stricken. I have argued that because it usurped, it take unduly the responsibility of the city councils and the mayor and the councillors of these councils and for the take away the authority. It's illegal. We have a constitution, so we can't even compare it to England. England does not have a constitution. So I'm talking about lawlessness as against lawfulness. So whoever they talk about Mayor of London, they will understand. England don't get a constitution that they may be in violation of, even if such a thing exists. But in our country, based upon we own law, it is illegal. The Local Government Act I maintain is illegal. It's illegal in whole or in part, but it has quite a substantial part of illegality in it. Because when it was being passed, it was not even, I don't think, see, the thing is with past legislation, we not even think about constitutional protections at all. We just pass law. But let me repeat again, Parliament does not have absolute power to pass any kind of law. They are not the supreme law or body. The Constitution override their authority. Any law Parliament passed for they within the purview of the Constitution. Otherwise, that law is illegal. We need to begin for train with judges them for think like that, or lawyers them for think like that, and for start raising arguments. So let we know, say, Parliament can pass illegal laws and they can be challenged. Back to you, Mr. Mengot.
Well, Fambulem, we will get other issues they more want to discuss. We talk about the second part of this program, but we're not getting time. We can still continue with this issue about service delivery, because the other issue we want to talk about, now this issue about, we can get the PRO, the press officer from the Anti-Corruption Commission, where say the commissioner, well, that person where they talk is saying an ideal world, there would be equal justice for the rich and the poor. Yes, it's not going to be an ideal world. We must strive for equal justice for rich and poor, whether ideal or any other law. So as we talk about this, let me continue. And I think to say, another person they say Mr. Shyllon. I think say it means Mr. Shyllon. Why not challenge the law? Well, I'm not going to talk for Mr. Shyllon. I can one line respond to that. Because then they ask you the question why you not challenge the law.
Oh, okay. Well, I know they're in the position and I not get the authority for challenge the law. There is a way you challenge the law. You get forget standing to challenge the law because you get forget not to everybody would just come and challenge the law. You get for sure how it affect you and why you not a proper party to filing a lawsuit or objecting to the law. So those in Sierra Leone, like the APC in general, can challenge the law. Some civil rights groups them, or then referred generally to as civil society, then can challenge the law. Or someone it has a what you would call adverse impact on can challenge the law. Okay, one of the people that we should have challenged the law where they talk about so now the very mayor of Freetown and in councillors them then get standing. Now the power the local government act usurp. Now then for going to court, now then for challenge that. Say, hey, that's going too far. The government don't get the power for take the mayor in authority. The government don't get the power for subject the mayor to the whim of a minister who is not elected, because the mayor gets a council of elected officials. Then are the proper, because in lawsuits, and these are some of the things, maybe the procedure is not read that, you get forget proper party is in interest, not to everybody. So me when they object, I may not be a proper party at all, even if I want to, because it probably not get any adverse impact on me. So this, again, like I say, this is an educational process. So I don't have standing to challenge the law, but I have standing to point it out, which is what I'm doing. And indirectly, I'm challenging the law too, as I'm coming up with this thing, because there's a whole body of lawyers in Australia. And some of them, if they get interested in Salone, then for listen to it, they say, I agree or disagree with me. Or for me comment, for even encourage them for go about the process in a lawful manner. So that's the best answer I can give. Okay. And let me just take one more call because we are almost out of time, like Mr. Mengot did say, because in fact, the mayor in tape, in video will be played. It will have been nice to comment on the road and the condition of the roads, then mentioning the, but we're not going to do that because that's going to eat up a lot of time. So there is, I may take one more call. Hello, caller, which your name is you call from? We may take one more call.
Hello, Mr. Shyllon and Mr. Mengot. Thank you very much. Thank you for all this brilliant analysis and this contribution as always. If actually people learn for learn and from where you guys actually come for educate, we always, if we get authority way, then they listen. I think then for able to learn a lot from watching what they say. You see, then people there, before this mother bill can have power, with the campaign, with all of the rhetorics, and say, then come clean the system. And when they come to a new direction. So we look at all of their switch words there. But what do you do? Because all what they analyze, so it makes sense. But this stuff for political gain, not that dividing Freetown, dividing Panguma, dividing all the districts that they want to do for ad, where the money, we're still struggling. So I'll see one video where Marabu in village Natiu. If you see the road, people don't able, much can't able go there. If they attempt for go there last week or so, you get for return back for me, Motuka no fashion. Imagine the president way Motuka for get auxiliary for any bad road, able to go through that road there. So what did that tells me and you? So then they do this thing for political gain. Before the election, they make a census. What is not census? We need to understand. A census, know the population. After all the data we don't collect, now for making know side for add more schools, now for making know side the old people and day, young people and day. So how government they look after that Now that we understand about census. But for them, no. They do it for a political gain. Because if they tell we say Kenema get population past Freetown, and now Freetown is to be divided into whatever district or so imagine this. It's terrible. Then come with this local election act 2022 closer to the election because all of this, sometimes it pisses me off when people say, oh, and Escoma them, don't they not change their laws. How we go continue for just the reference Sheki, will reference Bomo, will reference and Escoma? Where we turn for move forward. Now, so Rwanda been there, the laws of them income after the destruction, then change things and then they move forward. Now, so Senegal been there. Where this Macky Sall did, what you don't do now a continuation. Where Abdulawad we did it before Macky Sall. It's governments are continuity, just like in the teaching process, where before we graduate as teachers. When you meet a particular topic and that teacher know you exhaust them, you can show your expertise and bring them forward and continue. Can castigate say that teacher they, sabi math, this formula way yourself, good, this. No, it's like incite the teacher and the student towards that teacher day. And then a bad policy that not a professional work that. So that's so government for work. If you meet this minister, we say because the aim is for making us develop the country, the people, for making them see the results as to how we they move forward, but not to them kind of politicians that we get. We not chief man that we get. Now rogue people the way we see all what they think of now for themselves, for Canada, London buy us, go to America, upon all what they happen to the people they want for go back home for make them go to settle. Then they embezzle we and they come develop that them part of this whole area. It's terrible. You see, I wish them guys are able to follow from people like you now because the experience you might get. So the parliament pass law, that law the executive they just endorse that is it. Nobody know the challenger. Nobody as parliament they don't even look at the constitution. Then just not worry about the people. They don't worry about the people and contribution. They don't worry about them feeling. These are the kind of people they will get. We do the wrong thing until when problem will come. But thank God, people like una they talk, the one the way they listen, we want learn. Of course, na education they give people every time una come up. If only we are serious as a nation and people want learn, then we will take from them thing they talk about and they implement them and it will work for the people. Because not going to continue like this. Then you won't go away in the destruction, the fish, the destruction, and they go for turn against them tomorrow when things go wrong. Now, they are humans. So, if we not treat them fine, well, and we continue to do the wrong thing, we go reach a time, then go be bust up. And then they explode. And that will lead with another disaster. But these are all people, not to say now young people are more over in this government. These are all people who don't even them more before the war, they know what's happening, what to bring the war. But yet again, with the drag yourself slowly, with the flame, what they lead into problems.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. We appreciate the comment. Please stay tuned next week. We're out of time. We welcome all ideas. So please, if you think of something, even if it's not relevant to the issue or issues at hand, just call we number for blow chest or whatever. Feel free. We go handle it respectfully, appropriately, and then we'll go make sure say we will not discourage you, we encourage you for state your opinion. So thanks for calling and thanks for all of you for listening. And let me go back to my colleague for close for we.
Well, thank you very much. And I think for manage the municipality will still continue. And with the keep a special watch, we realize the last town hall meeting that we make, it not be end up well because of people the protest say we not go agree. But we'll continue for address this problem and we don't reach out to the mayor And I think what we will get for do for make this team very good, we will see if in future we can get one MP where they represent the ruling party and one from the opposition from the Freetown area, or even councillors. Let them can give with them views. We will work towards that. Because one, we are actually reach as far as possible for the people and for the one way they, as we can say, in the cold face, that the England word will they use. Let them can tell we. Because we need, this is an issue we're not going to just go so. Because Freetown, very interesting, capital city. For some of who don't travel to other African countries, we don't see the capital, how they improve. It looks like we on we they retrogress. But then in my own personal view, and we'll continue to engage the public, and I'm telling you thank you. I'm glad to be back and to serve the nation. And I wish you all well during the week. And once more, I say tata. Until we meet next week again, let get a stress-free time at workplace, accident-free journey, and by God's grace, we'll go meet again at the platform next Sunday. Say good night and good afternoon.